I think with broiler farming, people might fight me on this, but I think broiler farming is more profitable than the egg production, because if you're looking at a 6-week cycle, keeping layers, you might go roughly 24 weeks before you hit your peak in egg laying. By that time, I would have run four cycles already, because 6-4 is 24 weeks. And moreover, with broiler farming, once you get a good off-takers, or you get enough off-takers and you get your market, it is profitable because it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks is 1.5 months. And I think we all agree, investment over time, the shorter the period, the better. So I decided to go into broiler farming because I had off-takers. Okay, good morning. My name is Michael, Essilfie Ackah of Essilfie Ackah Farms. Essilfie Ackah Farms started somewhere 2018. We were into rabbit production. Unfortunately, we were hit by a rabbit hemorrhagic disease that collapsed partially the farm. But we didn't give up. We went on, still continue with the rabbit. Then somewhere 2022, we introduced the broiler farming, which is organic broiler farming. So we do a 500 bed cycle, which is 6 weeks. And we have off-takers who pick up when they are ready, and we have individuals that we sell to as well. And we are located at Pantan West, Oyaefa, close to Penfield School. But you can Google us and you'll find us on Google as well. So inspiration for this business is, when I was young, I've always had the passion of going into farming. I think I had my first duck at the age of about 7 years old, which I got from my mother's friend. Unfortunately, I didn't even have a place to keep it, but I still wanted to do it. But along the way, as you grow, things change and all that, passions and other things change. So I went to read mechanical engineering, but along the way, I realized I still had the burning sensation of this farming in me, so I had to go back to the farming. So somewhere 2010, I did a partnership with a friend into the rabbitry. We were in Dansuman by then. Fast forward 2018, I moved to Oyaefa, Pantan West, and decided to start the rabbit. So I took my share of the farm that we had, the partnership we had, and started the rabbit farms here. Later, moved on to the broilers as well. We have some brimers, some naked necks, some ducks as well. But the major concern, or the major focus now, is on the broilers. Yeah, this is a full-time job. I worked in the mines, and when the gold prices went down, the mines was closed down and we took our severances. So I decided then I should follow my passion. So I entered into the farming full-time. So in the beginning, it was difficult. I'm somebody who always wants to try new things. So I had opportunity because I use my farm as an experiment. I tried different types of feed. I'd even gone to I've mixed my feed before. I bought prepared feed, and I landed on couches, now the hues, which has really been very helpful along the way. I decided to go organic because I read about how organic farming is done, and I decided to go into it. One of the problems I had initially was, and still now it's getting better, is the good source of day oats, because most of the time the day oats don't come from the country. We import them. So the agents might bring you good birds today, tomorrow the birds are not the same, from the same agents, because they source from different places. So one of the problems I faced, and even still face from the beginning, is good source of day oats. Another thing is sometimes the weather. So if you can see, I had to plant a lot of trees to keep the place very cool, because during the very dry season like we are now, broilers are so much, they don't like heat. So when the temperature rises a little, you might end up losing a whole stock. And because I do organic, I make sure housekeeping is top notch. I do litter change virtually every week, maximum 7 days, sometimes even 3 or 4 days. When I see the litter is bad, I just have to change it, just to make sure there's no contamination or there are no microorganisms growing up to affect my birds. I chose broilers because I think with broiler farming, people might fight me on this, but I think broiler farming is more profitable than the egg production, because if you're looking at a 6-week cycle, keeping layers, you might go roughly 24 weeks before you hit your peak in egg laying. By that time, I would have run four cycles already, because 6-4 is 24 weeks. And moreover, with broiler farming, once you get a good off-takers, or you get enough off-takers and you get your market, it is profitable because it's 6 weeks. 6 weeks is 1.5 months. And I think we all agree, investment over time, the shorter the period, the better. So I decided to go into broiler farming because I had off-takers. Because without off-takers, it's a lot of money. You will lose money because after 6 weeks, the broilers will eat all your profit. On the farm, roughly, I come onto the farm between 5:30 and 6 a.m. When I have a stock like now, there are some day olds, I have to come a bit earlier, somewhere around like 5 to come and check up on them, feed my dogs, then do certain cleanup as well. So on a typical day, I spend roughly 4 hours in the morning and about 2 hours later in the day on the farm, and I do other things as well. I do installation of water system for people, and I help people set up farms as well. So basically on a typical day, that's how my day is on the farm. Oh yes, we've had a lot of milestones. At least we started with 100 and now we are running a 500 cycle. So that's a huge milestone that we've achieved. Moreover, we've been able to, let's say, trying to put up a standard operating procedure so that I know, and for now I've been able, with experience, I know the number of the bags of feed, the performance of the bed. After a week, I know how the beds will go. I can tell you how the beds will go. It's just once in a while that you won't get it right. But from a week, because when they come in, after 7 days, I will know what I'm supposed to get as their weight. And we do weighing every week, we do sample weighing just to see the performance, their feed consumption as well. So some of the successes is that I've been able to help one of my friends who has set up a farm behind, just not far from here. He has also been able to help another person to set up, and he's running the same 6 weeks organic, and has also been able to do our water system. So we normally automate the water system so that it will cut about 70% of the work. Moreover, I have customers who are always on my neck because of the quality of the meat. Since we are doing organic, everybody who purchases our meat is always happy and always wants to come back. Okay, so the plan of Essilfie Ackah Farms is to become the biggest organic commercial farm in Ghana. So with that, we are looking to acquire land to move properly, because this is a residential area. And one of the successes we forgot to mention is that because it's a residential area, we've been able to make sure the stench that comes with it, it's virtually zero. If nobody tells you there's a poultry farm here, you won't believe it, because there are people, I tell them, oh here, I give them direction, they get here and they're like, you have a poultry farm in an estate. And I think that is urban farming as well. So we are looking at expanding probably to about 50,000 or 100,000 capacity to be able to supply a lot of people and to help health conscious people who want to eat quality and healthy meat. What I mean by organic is, it's not 100% organic because of the day olds. The parents definitely will be giving some vaccines and all that, but when they reach this farm, what I do is I don't use any of the orthodox medicines. I don't do vaccination. For the past getting to about 3 years now that I've been in broiler farming, I don't use any medications. I use our local herbs, that is ginger, garlic, cayenne pepper, sometimes bitter leaf, as a form of medication and vitamins for them. So when I say organic, that is what I mean by that. So I don't do any of the Gomboro vaccination, Newcastle, all of those, and the antibiotics and all that. I do solely natural stuff. So that's why I say organic. What I can say is, anybody who is passionate about going into farming, yes, you might have some fears, but take a step, because if you don't take a step, you wouldn't know what you are capable of doing. And moreover, when you start and you fail, that doesn't mean you should end there. Sometimes failure is only when you stop. That's when it's failure. Failure is only when you stop, but you have to keep going, and you later tell people the story that, oh, when I started, I had this problem, I had that problem, and because of experience, I've been able to solve some of these problems. Thank you very much.